نبدأ إن شاء الله. نعم. طيب. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. طيب يا إخوان، we covered a lot, mashallah, last week. طيب, Allah said, وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهِ وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا. Worship Allah alone and do not associate anything with Him. So if we were to say now, I'm not going to worship idols, but I'm going to go and call on the Anbiya, because Anbiya are the best of the creation, or I'm going to call on Malaika. How would you explain that? I'm calling Anbiya, the prophets and the Malaika, not idols. Idol made of mud. Yeah.
Like we don't differentiate between the object of worship, like shirk is shirk.
Shirk is shirk. What's your dalil for that?
Shay'a means anything.
Okay, Shay'a. So worship Allah, وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا. Shay'a, why is anything? I want you to explain the rules in there. Wait, let the brother have some.
I'm not sure.
Go on.
It's a nakira, so it's umum.
So if nakira comes ba'da nahi or nafi, umum. So shay'an is indefinite, comes after prohibition. Wala tushriku means shay'a min umum. So what you said is right, but this is the evidence. You say, okay, look, shay'a ja'at ba'da nahi yufid umum. Because it came after prohibitions mean general. So malaika, the idols, the prophets, everybody included in that. Allah forbade everything that worship beside Allah. That's the way to explain to them, inshallah. So how this ayah include La ilaha illallah? Ya akhi fillah. وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا. Is this La ilaha illallah? Is this Tawheed? Yeah. Yeah. So how is this La ilaha illallah?
Because it's talking about the
Wahdaniyya, okay. Can you break it down for me? La ilaha and then illallah on this ayah.
La ilaha.
Wa'budullah. Which one is that?
You are basically La ilaha.
La illallah. Wa la tushriku bi shay'a. La ilaha. La ilaha. Negating it. Negating it. طيب. Okay. What is the right of Allah upon the slave and the right of the slave upon Allah?
Sorry?
What's the right of Allah upon the slave and what's the right of the slave upon Allah? Were you here last week?
I wasn't here.
No, you weren't here. Okay then. Now I'm going to ask the brother behind Gonahi.
I wasn't here.
You weren't here as well.
He should be worshipped.
Allah should be worshipped. That's his right. And our right is?
If we fulfill his command, his worship, then he helps us.
He will not punish us.
He will not punish us.
طيب, mashallah. What's the hadith? Do you remember the hadith you just said?
No.
You don't remember hadith or this hadith?
Where it's from?
Yeah, this is there. We mentioned the hadith. Abdul Karim?
Mu'adh bin Jabal.
Hadith Mu'adh bin Jabal. What's the hadith? How did it go?
He was on the mule with the Prophet ﷺ, and he said, I love you for the sake of Allah, and then he taught him that.
No, he doesn't say in this hadith, but it's not the hadith he said that, yeah. But this, go on, continue, inshallah.
He told him, shall I tell you the right of Allah upon the slave, and the right of the slave upon Allah? And then he told him, the right of the slave upon Allah is that, the right of Allah upon the slave is that he should be worshipped without association, and the right of the slave upon Allah is that he's not going to punish the ones that do that.
Okay. Why did Prophet ﷺ tell Mu'adh not to tell them this hadith?
Because people become Madinah.
How? You're right, but explain yourself.
Because people would just do like the bare minimum and then that's it.
Okay, they might just do bare minimum. What's the khatar, what's the danger of this? Not only bare minimum, but what else can happen?
Because if you don't do shirk, Allah said, that hadith says that Allah won't punish us. So people would think if they don't do shirk, they can commit any other sin.
So they can fall into that. So okay, I'm not going to commit shirk, but I'm going to do other sins. Okay, I'm okay then, I'm safe. No, it's not. طيب يا إخوان نبدأ. Today inshallah الباب اليوم إن شاء الله فضل التوحيد وما يكفر من الذنوب. Today's chapter is virtue of Tawheed and what expiates your sin. Now, Ahlul Tawheed are three levels. Let's start with this first. The people of Tawheed are three levels. Why? Because Ahlul Tawheed are not same. People of Taqwa is not same. People of Iman is not same. It's like people's strength are not same. People are not same tall, same height. They're not same. They're not all rich. You know, their wealth are different. So not everybody has same brain. They don't think same. So likewise, people of Tawheed are different. They are not same categories. Okay. So the companions are the best of the mankind after Prophet ﷺ. Their level of Tawheed is greater than anyone who came after them. And the best of the people with Tawheed are the Anbiya. And the best of the Anbiya are the Rasul. And the best of the Rasul are the six the great messengers. Muhammad, Ibrahim, Musa, Nuh, Isa. And from these great five messengers, two Khalil, Muhammad, Ibrahim, and from those two are Muhammad. So the Tawheed of the people differs. They're not all same. Okay? And it's in the Quran. And Allah said, فَمِنْهُمْ ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ وَمِنْهُمْ مُقْتَسِدٌ وَمِنْهُمْ سَابِقُونَ بِالْخَيْرَاتِ Fatir ayat 32. Allah said, Allah describing the believers in the Quran. And in the Surah Tafsir al-Baghawi, Usama bin Zayd radiallahu anhu narrated the hadith. The Prophet said that these are from my ummah. But look, Prophet Allah said that among the Muslims are oppressors to themselves. How do you oppress yourself? You commit sin. You don't look after yourself. You know, many ways you can oppress yourself. Okay, sinning is the common one. Okay. The second one is among them are muqtasid, meaning the righteous, and among them are who advanced in good deed. So the Imam al-Baghawi in Tafsir he mentions that those who oppress themselves in dunya, committing sins, Yawm al-Qiyamah, they will have a hard time. They will have difficulties. They have sorrow. They will have problems. You know, when they stand in front of Allah Azza wa Jal, the zalimun li nafsi, those who oppress themselves committing sins, they will have a difficult time. Subhanallah. And the next level is muqtasid. They are the one who will have easy hisab, easy reckoning. And the third is sabiquna bil khairat. Those who advanced are the people will enter Jannah without any hisab. Look at the Muslims. Not every Muslim are same. So Ahlul Tawheed, my brothers and sisters, are not same level. They're different levels of Ahlul Tawheed. So today inshallah we'll talk about the virtues of Tawheed. Now Tawheed is the greatest a'mal, actions we can have. Tawheed is the salvation for us in dunya and akhirah. We are Muslims, and Muslims are going to go to Jannah because of Tawheed, not because of your color, not because you're from a certain tribe or certain people. Yadu billah. La, it's Tawheed. It's Tawheed of Allah. And Allah raises people with Tawheed. Okay, with Tawheed of Allah, Allah raises people. And Ibn Rajab, he mentions that one of the great Imam Bakr al-Mazini, he said that سبقهم أبو بكر رضي الله عنه ليس من كثرة الصلاة ولا صيام وإنما سبقهم شيء في قلبه الوقر. Okay, الوقر, which is that he said that Abu Bakr رضي الله عنه advanced everyone, not because he prayed a lot, not because he fasted a lot. It's something that he had in his heart that made him advance. It's the piety that he had in his heart. And they say this piety is love of Allah. and the love of Allah is Tawheed of Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah raised him with this Tawheed. There might be somebody who spent more than Abu Bakr, maybe, you don't know, maybe, Allah knows best, or fasted more than Abu Bakr. But what Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu had, nobody had. Okay, I want to narrate another story that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting with the companions. He said to the companions, I have paid you back return what you've done for me. I have paid you back what you've done for me. Except Abu Bakr. He said, I will never be able to pay Abu Bakr off for what he had done for the deen. I left it to Allah to pay him back. This is Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. So Abu Bakr has the greatest status. So what Allah raised Abu Bakr is with the taqwa, with the piety, with the Tawheed of Allah Azza wa Jal. So Tawheed, when we're talking about Tawheed here, Ahlul Tawheed, a different level of Ahlul Tawheed. Remember, they're not all same levels of Ahlul Tawheed. As long as they die upon Tawheed, they are Ahlul Jannah, inshallah. Okay? Now, Tawheed, we're talking about Rububiyyah, Uluhiyyah, Asma wa Sifat, Allah's Lordship, okay? Allah's worship, Allah's names and attributes. So, the Shaykhul-Islam, Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, rahimahullah, he brings verse to establish a proof for his topic, Fadl Tawheed. So he's going to bring ayah now. The ayah is, Allah said, Surah An'am, ayah 82, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلَمْ يَلْبِسُوا إِيمَانَهُمْ بِظُلْمٍ أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ أَمْنُ وَهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. As for those who believe, so here believe is what? Believe in the heart, statement of the tongue, and action of the limbs. Those who believe, and Allah says in the Quran, فَإِنْ آمَنُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ بِهِ فَقَدْ اهْتَدَوْا. If they believe as you believe a companion, they'll be guided. So our belief have to be according with the companions. Okay? So if those who believe and do not mix the iman with dhulm, then they will have protection and security and guidance. Now, here, when Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu narrated this story, when this ayah revealed, this became burden for us. Became burden for us. You know, a headache. Because they understand Arabic language. So he said, Ya Rasulullah, ayyuna la nazlim anfusana. Ya Messenger of Allah, which of us will not oppress one of us? Will oppress. Bidhulm. So he understood that the general dhulm, oppressing yourself, oppressing others, and the greatest oppression is to make shirk with Allah Azza wa Jal. Now, in the Quran, Allah Azza wa Jal, I just want to mention some qa'idah, a principle is that when Allah addresses us, He addresses us in a way that could be general ruling. Okay, that's one. Number two, could be specific ruling. Thirdly, could be general inside a specific. Okay, let me give you an example. I'll give you an example now, inshallah. Allah says in the Quran, فَنَادَتْهُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ. So Maryam, فَنَادَتْهُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ. Who is Allah talking about Malaika? Jibril. But Allah mentioned Malaika as a general, but it means specific. Now what is he talking about is that, you know, Zakaria alayhi salam, he made dua to Allah to bestow him righteous son, and it was Yahya alayhi salam. So Allah accepted his request, and Allah accepted it, and while Zakaria alayhi salam was making salah, Jibreel alayhi salam, he called him and said, your dua has been accepted. I mean, فَنَادَتُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ. Jibreel called on him to tell him that your dua is accepted. Allah will bestow you with righteous son. طيب. The point is that Malaika here mean khas, which mean specific, mean Jibreel. But Allah mentioned Malaika general. You have another one. Allah says in the Quran.
That one is Surah Al-Imran.
Is it Al-Imran or Al-Maryam? Okay. It's Surah Al-Imran. Okay. Not Al-Imran, Al-Imran. Ala min family. Al min the. So there's a difference. طيب, Allah said, يُنَزِّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ. يُنَزِّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ. The Malaika is coming down. But this Malaika is talking about who? Jibreel. That's one, another example. You can't obviously, just for us to memorize, learn something, inshallah. Allah says in the Quran, إِنَّ النَّاسِ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ فَخْشَوْهُمْ. إِنَّ النَّاسِ. Indeed, mankind has gathered to harm you, Muhammad. This Nas talking about Muawiyah. Nas mean Muawiyah. So what happened is that when the people came to Prophet ﷺ, addition to that, Ibn Abbas says that When the people came and said to Muhammad, Ya Muhammad, people are gathering to harm you, to fear them. He didn't fear anyone. He said, Hasbinallah wa ni'mal wakil. Hasbinallah wa ni'mal wakil. Two great messengers made this dua, Ibrahim and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Muhammad made it at that time, and Ibrahim alayhi salam made it when he was thrown into the fire. So, my brothers, is that this ayah here, the reason I'm mentioning all this, to come to establish a proof that this bidhulm here mean is specific to the major oppression, which is the shirk billah. Why? Because Prophet answered this, explained this ayah in the hadith. When Ibn Masud mentioned this praying that he had, he said, لَيْسَ كَمَا تَذْهَبُونَ إِلَيْهِ إنما أما سمعت قول لقمان عليه السلام لما وعظ ابنه يا بني لا تشرك بالله إن الشرك لظلم عظيم. It is not what you're thinking, O Ibn Mas'ud or the companion. It is, haven't you not heard what Luqman said to his son, O my son, do not associate anything with Allah, because that's the greatest oppression. So this oppression here, dhulm, mean major oppression. That means this ayah is khas, specifically for major shirk, not other ones. It's major. Can you see that? So it is am, but it is general, but it is talking about specific. So Hadith explains it. So alladhina amanu, those of iman, true iman, and they do not mix their a'mal with the oppression. Then he says that أولئك لهم أمن وهم مهتدون. Now here, al-amn. Okay, my brothers, al-amn is security. The security are two types for Ahlul Tawheed. Amn mutlaq, mutlaqul amn. Amn mutlaq is complete security. Okay, the complete security. This is for the Ahlul Tawheed, those who worship Allah in oneness. Okay, without associating anything, they abandon the major shirk, bid'ah, and major sin. Okay, they face Allah, they will have complete security. As for those Muslims who fell into major sin, but they did not make tawbah to Allah, obviously if you make tawbah to Allah, khalas, you accept it. If you have those who haven't made tawbah to Allah, they're under the Mashiach of Allah. They're under the will of Allah. If Allah wants to punish them, He'll punish them. If Allah wants to forgive them, He'll forgive them. Those who commit major sin. As for the Khawarij, they say those who face Allah with the major sin, okay, without making tawbah, okay, they're not Muslims, dunya and akhirah, and they will be thrown into the hell for eternity. Ahlul Sunnah said that, the Ahlul Hadith, who are upon the haqq, they say that if a person commits major sin, if he doesn't make tawbah, he's still a Muslim. He's under the will of Allah. If Allah wants to punish him, he'll punish him. If He wants to forgive him, He'll forgive him. The important principle we have to learn. Those who fall into major sins. So, Amr Mutlaq, complete protection for Ahlul Tawheed. Those abandon all these major sins, major bid'ah, major shirk, and they follow Tawheed of Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay? The second type of people, Mutlaqul Amn, which is partial security, partial, meaning that they will go to the hellfire, okay, and Prophet will make shafa'ah for them, and they will be released, and they will take into Jannah. They will be punished for a while, but they will come out because they're Muslims. They will come out. Hadith says that, subhanallah, that Ahlul Na, when they are punished in the hellfire, they will become like a coal. Okay, they will be burned so much, and they will be thrown into a nahar, a river of life, and that will take them away. From that, they will regain their life again by the will of Allah. Okay, so this is a Muslim who are in Jahannam will be taken out like that. Some of the Muslims, some of the hadith says that, Ahlul Jannah. That's what Hassan al-Basri said. Make a lot of Muslim brothers, good brothers, because Yawm al-Qiyamah, they will look for you. They'll make dua for you. Ya Allah, where is this so and so brother I had? We used to go to halaqat, we used to go to dars, we used to go to masjid. What are they? Allah will say, oh my slave, this slave you're talking about, I have put him into hellfire. For whatever reason. And even if Allah burns someone, He burns them out of justice, Allah never oppressed anyone. So they will say, Ya Allah, we intercede to you for behalf of my brother. Can we have him back in Jannah? Allah will say, okay, we love him for your sake. Go in Jahannam, bring him out. They will go to Jahannam, they will not be touched by the fire. And they will drag the brother out from the hellfire. For sake of Allah. That's why Hassan al-Basri said, increase your brotherhood. Make a lot of good brothers, not just brothers, but good brothers, Salafi brothers, upon Quran and Sunnah. Because you don't know, nobody guarantees Jannah except those that are guaranteed. Subhanallah. You know, Umar ibn Khattab said, if the last Muslim will enter Jannah, it will be me. If there's one Muslim, the last person will enter Jannah, Umar goes, it's going to be me. This he said about himself. And he feared for nifaq, Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu. This sign of Iman, it's a positive sign of Iman. And to think other way is a negative. So, my brothers and sisters, that security and protection, these are two types of the ulama have mentioned. Because Muslim will be, don't think just because we're Muslim, we're not going to be in the hellfire. Yes, people will be Muslim and they'll be still be thrown into the hellfire. Why do you think Prophet is going to make shafa'ah for them? Because they're in the hellfire. They'll be taken out. Subhanallah. So, أولئك لهم أمن, they will have أمن, security, وهم مهتدون, and they will be guided. They will be guided. So what is the evidence? This ayah is the evidence for what? The virtues of Tawheed. How is the evidence for virtues of Tawheed? The virtue is that they will have Amn and they will be guided. They will have security and they will be guided. Even the security is for partial security. You still be taken out from the Jahannam. You still will be taken out from Jahannam because you're Muslim. Subhanallah. You know, a man will face Allah Yawm al-Qiyamah. He will have no good deed. He will have no good deed. And his sin will be as far as I can see. Record of sins. And Allah will say, this is your sin. Say, yes, my Lord. And He will say to the Malaika, put all his bad deed in one scale. He's going to say, I've lost today. I'm finished. I've got no good deed. One scale. No good deed. Just sins after sins. And put his card in the other scale. Hadithul Bitaqa, we say. Hadith of the card. And he will think, I'm destroyed today. I'm going to be Jahannam. I have no good deed. My bad deed over a card, piece of paper, what's he going to do? So, obviously Allah knows. So when the card was placed, the card was heavier than all his sins. Do you know what this card is? Who knows? Tawheed of Allah. La ilaha illallah. Allah will say, I've forgiven you today, go to Jannah. What saved him, Ikhwan? What saved him from Jahannam? Because he's from so-and-so family, he's from so-and-so color. Tawheed of Allah. The Tawheed saved him, akhi. Okay? So, his Tawheed was very low, in the sense that he was committing sin. You know? So he had, Allah forgave him because of his Tawheed. So Allah doesn't look at anything. He looks at your heart, looks at your a'mal. He looks at our ikhlas, sincerity, and Tawheed of Allah Azza wa Jal. So, that's how this ayah is an evidence for us that you have amn, security for those with iman. Do not mix with the shirk. Now, if you commit shirk, make tawbah. Any sin that you commit, if you fall into shirk, you fall into major sin, you know, and most likely these shirk people fall into because of lack of knowledge of the deen. But if no one going to commit shirk knowingly, yadu billah. So make tawbah from it, and don't think, khalas, I'm finished, I've destroyed, I've no way back to turn. This is from shaitan. Okay? You have to make tawbah to Allah Azza wa Jal. Turn back to Allah, Allah's door is open for us. As long as you're knocking on the door, Allah is opening your door. Okay? So we have to knock on the door. So that's the hadith, ayah of the Quran, and that's how the evidence for Tawheed of Allah, the virtues of Tawheed. Okay? Whatever situation you are in, okay, and you are upon Tawheed, you still have the amn. That's the virtue of it. Let's go to the next hadith. عن عبادة بن صامت رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من شهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمد عبده ورسوله وأن عيسى عبد الله ورسوله وكلمته ألقى إلى مريم وروح منه والجنة الحق والنار حق أدخله الله أدخله الله الجنة على ما كان من عمل. أخرج بخاري مسلم. طيب يا إخوة وأخوات, let's explain this hadith now. Shaykhul-Islam now he brings the hadith now. He put ayah first, now the hadith. Ubadah bin Samit radiallahu anhu, he mentioned that Prophet ﷺ said that man shahida, those who bear witness. Now the shahida here, the ulama says, man aqarra wa i'tarafa, those who acknowledged. This acknowledge means acknowledge from your heart and your tongue, obviously part of the limbs, also limbs as well. Whoever does that, whoever testifies, and la ilaha illallah, that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah. Now this is the kalimat at-Tawheed, la ilaha illallah. Okay, and the definition of la ilaha illallah is la ma'buda bihaqqin illallah. None has the right to be worshipped in truth except Allah. La ma'buda bihaqqin. Lot of translation, actually people who deviated from the aqidah, they will explain la ilaha illallah mean la khaliq illallah, no creator except Allah. And we don't accept this definition, no creator except Allah, because the shaitan doesn't deny that. Even the mushrik of the Quraysh, what I'm going to say is very important. Even the mushrik of the Quraysh don't deny Allah is the creator. Do you know Iblis believes Allah is the creator, the provider? He lived in Jannah, he believed in Allah, he believed Allah is the Lord of the heaven and earth, but he did not worship him. Okay? The Quraysh, mushrik of the Quraysh, they believed Allah the creator, the provider, the sustainer. They believed that. Subhanallah. But they worship other than Allah. So, if we say la khaliqa illallah, no creator except Allah, then this definition is wrong, because that will not take you to Jannah. It's not going to make you Muslim. Shaitan is not Muslim. So, what was the thing that differentiated between the rububiyyah of the Sahaba and the mushrik? That they worshipped Allah. The Sahaba, they worshipped Allah Azza wa Jal. Whereas Abu Talib, Abu Jahl, Prophet's parents, they all believed in Allah, but they did not worship Allah Azza wa Jal. They did not have the uluhiyyah in them. So, you know, a lot of Muslims we have, they believe in Allah. They know they're the creator. They believe Allah, they believe Allah is the creator. And they mention Allah's name as well. But they don't worship Allah. They don't seek knowledge. A lot of people die upon that, yadu billah. You know, they will, if you say to him, do you believe in Allah? A'udhu billah, of course I believe in Allah. They are the creator. I know creator who created me. Why don't you worship him then? Oh, I'm lazy. I don't want to, I have no excuses. You believe Allah the Lord, but you don't worship him. This is exactly what Iblis says. Inni akhaf Allah. Inni akhafu Allah Rabbal Alameen. Okay, indeed I fear Allah, the Lord of the world. He's a liar anyway. He doesn't actually does that, but he believes in Allah. Subhanallah. So, a lot of Muslims, when they believe like that, it's like belief of Iblis. Just like belief of Iblis. You never practice your deen, but you believe in Allah. This is what Iblis does. So, be careful, inshallah. La khaliq illallah is a batil definition. It's not going to take us anywhere. La ma'buda bihaqqin illallah. None has the right to be worshipped in truth except Allah. Because there are so many things that worship beside Allah, but they are not haqq. There are so many aliha people worship, but the true ilah is Allah. So when we say la ma'buda bihaqqin, that negates all form of aliha. It negates all form of God that is worshipped beside Allah Azza wa Jal. Because we covered in usul al-thalas, remember? Kufru bil-taghut wa imanu billah. That's what it is. You have to disbelieve all the gods. And that's what we're doing. La ma'bud bihaqqin. We're disbelieving all form of God and affirming Allah is the only one who deserves the worship. So, la ma'buda bihaqqin illallah. That's the meaning of la ilaha illallah. None has the right to be worshipped in truth except Allah. So, la ilaha illallah has two pillars, negation and affirmation. Negating everything that is worshipped beside Allah, batil, is non-accepted, and affirming that Allah Azza wa Jal is the one who deserves all the worship. طيب, to affirm that, yeah. So, man shahida an la ilaha illallah, whoever bear witness, none has the right to be worshipped in truth except Allah. Okay, continuing, wahdahu la sharika lah, wahdahu. Why is not the negation and affirmation here? You know, Ibn Hajar says, inshallah, Ibn Hajar said that this is tawqeed ba'da tawqeed affirmation after affirmation, يدل إلى أهمة التوحيد. He goes, affirmation after affirmation, no affirmation, emphasize after emphasize show the importance of Tawheed. Okay, so wahdahu, affirmation is emphasized upon affirmation. Wahdahu, la sharika la is what's the Tawheed? Emphasis. La sharika lahu, emphasis on negation. That's the emphasis. So emphasis for affirmation, emphasis for negation. Wahdahu is emphasized on affirmation, and la sharika la is emphasis for negation. This hadith, la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika. Many hadith comes like this. Wahdahu la sharika la. But what we're saying, I need to understand that it's emphasis. You're emphasizing what? Affirmation, and you're emphasizing the negation. That's what you're doing. طيب. وحده لا شريك له. If he does that, شهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Next one. That Muhammad is slave and messenger. There's so many benefits here now. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we covered this. This is Usul Thalatha. Let's go over it. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he has other names. He said, أنا محمد, أنا أحمد, أنا ماحي الذي يمحى بالكفر وأنا حاشي يحشر الناس على عاقبه وأنا عاقب يعني لا نبي بعدي. He said that I am Muhammad, I am Ahmed, I am Mahi. Mahi is the wiper. That Allah wiped the shirk through Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I mean, he sent him and he wiped the shirk off. أنا عاقب. أنا حاشر. Hashir means that he will be the one raised first before everyone. You know, Prophet said in the hadith that I'll be the first one to come up from my grave. Before everyone, my grave will be cracked first. And he will open his eyes and he will come out. Allahu Akbar. You know? And then he said, Ana aqib. Aqib means, La nabiyya ba'd. There is no prophet after me. No one will come after me, a prophet. These are the names of the Prophet. You know, some they say Muzakkir and all that. Muzakkir is not his name. Allah called him Anta Muzakkir in Bab al-Akhbar, meaning it's the news. Like I gave example before. If I say, this brother is a mujtahid, hard worker, mashallah, doesn't mean that's his name. Doesn't mean that's his name. It's a sifa, attribute. You are attributing something to the brother, which is the reality. Mashallah. So, Prophet is Muzakkir, isn't it? It's a reminder. And that attribute was given to him because that was his mission. But that's not his name. Because Hadith never said that's his name. You differentiate between those two things, inshallah. So these are the name of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Muhammad, Abduhu wa Rasuluhu. Two things. I think Shaykhul-Islam says, Abduhu wa la yu'bad. Rasuluhu wa la yukadhab. So he's Abd, but we do not worship him. His messenger, we do not disbelieve in him. We believe he is the messenger of Allah. So Abd, okay, when it comes to this, Abduhu wa Rasuluhu, he is a slave of Allah and the messenger of Allah. Two groups gone astray. Two extremes. One of the extreme is Ifrat and Tafrit. Ifrat, Ahlul Ifrat, Ghalu fi Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The people of Ifrat, those who went extreme, they believed his Abd and his messenger, but then raised him to a level they start worshipping him. Okay? You see this if you go to Umrah or Hajj. They raised him to a level where they worship him. They want to call on him. Oh, we love him, but love doesn't mean you worship him. You know, want to seek blessing, I'm going to go and wipe his, on the grave. He's very far away. It's just a war. I mean, so they ghulu in him. And Prophet feared that, okay, this for this type of people, that when he died, he said, Allahumma la taj'al qabri wathanan yu'bad. Oh Allah, do not make my grave a place of worship. Before he died, he made this dua to Allah. Okay? And, if the God one day, they will commit shirk. Billah Azza wa Jal. So these people made ghulu. They believed he has knowledge of unseen. He has power. He can hear you. He can protect you. Okay. So that's one extreme. The second extreme is that tafreed, which is they disbelieved in the Prophet of Allah. They disbelieved in him and they did not follow him. They did not obey him, follow him. Like the Quraysh, they don't believe in him. The Kitab, the Jews, they did not believe in him. So when it comes to this, he is slave of Allah and His Messenger, people are into two categories in that. Okay. Now, also, my brothers, Abduhu wa Rasuluhu, that's a refutation against Jews and the Christian. Okay. The people. No, this one is Isa alayhi salam. Sorry. So what we learn is that his two things Allah mentioned about him. He's a abd, he's a human being, he worships Allah, at the same time he's a messenger of Allah. Okay? لا تطروني كما أطرت النصارى عيسى ابن مريم فقولوا عبد الله ورسوله. Do not praise me the way the Christian praise Isa, but just say I'm a slave of Allah and His messenger. That's it. Nothing more, no more than that. Okay? It's very important we realize this, because if you don't realize this, the Muslims, they believe Muhammad in a way that Abu Bakr never believed, Umar never believed, Aisha never believed, Sahaba never believed. They will say, come, we'll teach you. We lived with Prophet of Allah. I'll teach you how to believe in Prophet of Allah. I'm going to lash you. This is not Prophet of Allah. This is Allah you're talking about. We loved him, we followed him. He's a human being. We know he got injured. Prophet will come in Kitab at-Tawheed. Prophet, one of the tooth broke, came out, smashed in the jihad. He's a human being, he gets hurt. So why do you believe about Rasul? Abu Bakr never believed about him like that. So we have to go back to Sahabas. Tayyib. So he's Abd and he's a messenger at the same time. What does Shahada Muhammad Rasulullah mean? We covered this, but let's go over it again. I know maybe it's new for some brothers and sisters, inshallah. This is what Shahada Muhammad Rasulullah means, that if you fulfill that, then you fulfill Shahada Muhammad Rasulullah. There's two definitions. The first one, I'm going to give you the easy one, inshallah. The first one is لا متبوع بحق إلا رسول الله. Okay? لا متبوع. No one deserves to be followed in truth except Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We covered this in the three fundamentals of Islam. That's one of the definitions. The second definition, it covers four things. Okay? The first one is طاعته فيما أمر, تصديقه فيما أخبر, اجتناب ما نهى والزجر, ولا يعبد إلا بما شرع. These are four things. طاعته فيما أمر, to follow him whatever he commands. تصديقه فيما أخبر, to believe him everything that he says. Okay? اجتناب ما نهى والزجر, and to abandon everything that he forbade. ولا يعبد إلا بما شرع. Okay? That you should not worship Allah except what He legislates. So this is, if you look at some of the Ahlul Bid'ah, they don't follow any of these conditions, not all of it anyway. Until you fulfill the condition, all of it, you haven't completed Shahada Muhammad Rasulullah. Okay? So that's the second definition of Shahada Muhammad Rasulullah. And each part you can write a few pages. Subhanallah. Small definition, but you can write few things. And this is what the ulama have said. Now someone may say, where does the hadith say this is the definition of Rasulullah? It is not the evidence, the ulama derived it from the Quran and Sunnah. And each of these lines you can get evidence from it, Quran and Sunnah. Each of these lines has evidence in the Quran and the Sunnah. This is the istinbat, but it doesn't contradict the Sharia of Allah Azza wa Jal. And that's what Allah wants us to do. Follow His messenger, believe in him. Follow Allah according to His Prophet. Now, that's the definition of Shahada Muhammad Rasulullah. Allah says in the Quran, قُلْ لَا أَمْلِكُ لِنَفْسِي نَفْعًا وَلَا ضَرًّا إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ اللَّهِ. Now, Allah said about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, say to them, Muhammad, say, I do not possess myself any power to benefit you or to harm you, except by the will of Allah. So he's a human being. He's a human being, end of the day. Subhanallah. Continue with the hadith. So remember what we are going through, inshallah. وَأَنَّ عِيسَى عَبْدُ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولُهُ, and that Isa alayhi salam is a slave and his messenger. Again, same thing we're going to cover, what we covered for Shahada Muhammad Rasulullah. Isa alayhi salam is Isa ibn Maryam, who is still alive when I come down, inshallah. And there's so many hadith that he's going to come down in the last hour. His coming of Isa alayhi salam is a major sign. And Prophet described Isa alayhi salam. Prophet was in Kaaba, Jibreel, and he looked on his right and he saw a man, very handsome man, long hair, fair skin, not blonde hair, not straight. Subhanallah, it's amazing hair he had, and he had sweat on his forehead or water. And then he said to Jibreel, who is this? This is Masih Isa ibn Maryam. This is the Isa ibn Maryam, Masih. And he looked on his left, he saw another man, very ugly, short, but he has two eyes, one is wiped off, a'war. A'war mean, there's a word for it, not blind, you can see, but it's messed up eyes. One eye. Squash grapes. The word I'm looking for, I can't remember now. So basically, in the hadith, for example, that inna Dajjal a'war wa rabbuka laysa bi'a'war. Indeed, Dajjal is a'war, but your Lord is not a'war. Meaning, a'war means you have two eyes. Okay, one is you can't see with one eye properly, but your Lord has two eyes, and he can see with the both eyes. Okay, your Lord has two eyes that befits Allah, he can see with them. So a'war, lisan al-Arab, he gives that definition. That a'war means one, you have two eyes, but one eye means that one is something wrong with it, you can't see properly here. طيب ikhwan, so Isa alayhi salam will come down, he will kill Dajjal, Isa ibn Maryam. Isa alayhi salam, now in the Quran Allah said, إن مثل عيسى عند الله كمثل آدم خلقه من تراب ثم قال له كن فيكون. Allah said in the Quran, Surah Al-Imran 59, indeed the likeness of Isa in the sight of Allah is like Adam alayhi salam. Allah created him, i.e. Adam alayhi salam, with dust. Then he said regarding Isa, be, and he became. So Allah Azza wa Jalla created Isa and Adam alayhi salam from dust without a father. So why is that regarding Adam we don't say he's the son of God, yes billah. About Isa we say it. But Allah created Isa alayhi salam with kalimatu kun fayakun, be, and he became. Okay? So kun is not Isa, kun is the word that Allah casted in the Maryam alayhi salam, and he became, Isa became by the will of Allah, Isa. So Jibreel alayhi salam, he's the one who came with the ruh, he blew into Maryam alayhi salam by the will of Allah, and the word kun was mentioned, and then Isa alayhi salam was created. Allah Azza wa Jal, he can create things from nothing, ya ikhwat. Allah Azza wa Jal created Isa from that word kun, and he became. Now, وَأَنَّ عِيسَى عَبْدُ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولُهُ. Isa is a slave of Allah and he's a messenger of Allah. Okay? And Isa alayhi salam, he did this statement, Abdullah wa Rasul, refutation against Jesus and the Christian. Abd is a refutation against the Christian because they made him ilah. They made him God. Rasulullah says Abd. Okay, they worship him. That's what Prophet said, do not praise me the way Isa was praised by the Christian. Okay, our people do that. They have the knowledge, they made Muhammad like ilah, a'udhu billah. So he feared that. So they do that. They do, Isa alayhi salam is prophet, the only prophet, they made him ilah, a son of God, and things like that, a'udhu billah. That's a refutation against the Christian. Rasuluhu is a refutation against the Jews, because the Jews, they hated Isa and they did not believe him as a prophet, and the reason is, iyadu billah, is that they said he was born without a father, so she committed a zina, iyadu billah. In the Quran, the story of birth of Isa is there. How can I have a child when no man touched me? She wasn't married. But Allah sent Jibreel alayhi salam to tell Maryam that you can have a child. She said, I'm not married, but Allah will make it happen. Kun fayakun became. Okay, so what did she have intercourse? She never was married. Maryam alayhi salam. So that was the lie against Maryam, one of the women of Jannah. One of the women of Jannah alayhi salam, she gave birth without a husband, by the will of Allah. So that's what Jews say, that Isa alayhi salam is not a prophet. How can a woman who committed zina gave birth, he's the prophet of Allah? Iyadhu billah. So this is the analogy. Obviously there is no sign of that. There's no evidence for that. A'udhu billah. So that's evidence against the Jews, because they don't believe he's a prophet. Prophet said he's a Rasulullah. He's a Rasul of Allah Azza wa Jal. So whoever believes anna Isa Abdullah wa Rasuluhu wa kalimatuhu alqahi ila Maryam. Kalimatuhu, who refers to Allah. Allah's word was cast into Maryam alayhi salam. Kun fayakun. Kun, be, and he became. That was thrown into Maryam, and she gave birth. So kalimatu alqahi ila Maryam wa ruh minhu. The ruh minhu. Now, the ruh, the soul is from who? From Allah. So the Christian says, see, ruh minhu means that it's part of Allah. Part of Allah Azza wa Jal. But Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen said it doesn't mean that. Mean that ruh, so we're from Allah. Are we part of Allah Azza wa Jal now? Okay. If you give somebody a gift, Haadi hadiyya minni, like this hadiyya is from me. The hadiyya becomes me now. So if I get a laptop now, and I said, Haadi hadiyya minni lak ya akhi. I'm giving this hadiyya from me to you. Does the hadiyya become part of me now? Because minni? La. Hada qalamun minni lak. This is the pen from me to you. Does it mean that become part of me now, the pen? So min doesn't necessarily mean become part of you. I'm just giving it to you. So here ruh minhu, meaning that Allah created the ruh. And then he gave it to Jibreel alayhi salam, and he's the one who nafakha fiha, that he blew into her by the will of Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay? وَرُوحْ مِنْهُ وَالْجَنَّةَ حَقْ وَالنَّارَ حَقْ. And he believed all that, and he believed that Jannah is haq, paradise is truth, and the hellfire is truth. If he believes all that, my brothers and sisters, أدخله الله الجنة على ما كان من العمل. That Allah will enter him to Jannah upon whatever action he is in. Okay? So if you believe all that, some of the scholars, they say that if you believe that, okay, if you don't pray, you're still a Muslim because of this hadith. Because it doesn't talk about salah. If you have these pillars, this is their istinbat, their ijtihad, this is how the analogy they've made. But, obviously, it's one of the hadith they use. How is this hadith a virtue of Tawheed? How? Is the end part of the hadith. It's just the last part of the hadith. أَدْخَلَهُ اللَّهُ الْجَنَّةَ عَلَى مَا كَانَ مِنْ عَمَلٍ. Allah, if you believe all that, he's a Muslim. And Allah will enter him to Jannah whatever action he is upon. Meaning that he hasn't got shirk, he hasn't got kufr. So if you go in major sin, whatever, he still will be entered to Jannah. Because why? Because of his Tawheed. Because of his Tawheed. That's the last part of the hadith, is the evidence for Tawheed of Allah Azza wa Jal. It's nothing else. Nothing else. طيب يا إخوان, I'm going to leave some questions. I'll take the questions now, and we'll continue with next hadith next week, inshallah. Any questions, inshallah? Go now.
Said that the Shahada of the Rasul, of the Prophet, he said there's two meanings. What's the first one?
Definitions.
Yeah.
Okay, the brother is saying I mentioned two definitions of Shahada Muhammad Rasulullah. The first one was لا متبوع بحق إلا رسول الله. That no one should be followed in truth except Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As for la ilaha illallah, la ma'buda. So you should turn ma'bud to matbu'. Okay, that's what. No one deserves to be followed in truth except Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the other one I've said is that طاعته فيما أمر, تصديق فيما أخبر, واجتناب ما نهى والزجر, ولا يعبد إلا بما شرع. These are four things. That to follow him whatever he says, to believe everything that he said, and to leave whatever he forbade, and no one should worship Allah. Allah should not be worshipped except what Rasulullah legislates. يعني following his sunnah. We have to follow his sunnah. Follow his, yeah, that's what it is. Go on.
You mentioned about 3 types of Tawheed, so can you just repeat that again?
We've done this usul thalatha. We covered all this. Okay, we covered Tawheed at the beginning of this book as well, isn't
No,
it?
he meant that he said Tawheed it differs in people, 3 types of people, he said. Not the 3 types of Tawheed. He said there's 3 types of people. He said, yeah, he said Muqtasid.
Okay, we mentioned the ayah Surah Fatir 32. فَمِنْهُمْ ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ, among them who are oppressor to themselves, committing sins. وَمِنْهُمْ مُقْتَسِدٌ, among them who are muqtasid, and يعني the righteous, the hisab will going to be easy on the day of judgment. And وَمِنْهُمْ سَابِقُونَ بِالْخَيْرَاتِ, among them is those who are advanced in good deed. Those who will enter Jannah without any hisab. So these are Ahlul Tawheed. We mentioned the hadith, Usama bin Zayd in Baghawi tafsir. The Prophet said, هذه أمتي, these are my ummah. Look, the 3 categories of Ahlul Tawheed, subhanallah. Among the Ahlul Tawheed who will enter in Jahannam, the Prophet will make shafa'ah for them. Go on.
With the Sabiqun, what does it mean, like?
Advanced.
No, I mean, like, what does that mean?
Meaning they'll enter Jannah without hisab. There's no hisab, no judgment for them.
Like, are they not given a book?
No, book will be given, but they're just going to go to Jannah.
Oh,
Okay, like 70 of this 70,000 of this ummah will enter Jannah without any hisab. Okay, that's the hadith will come inshallah. Next chapter, the hadith will come. Go on, Akhi.
There's 2 questions, brother. You said, I might have missed it, about the grave. You know, a lot of times people go and say salam in the grave, salam alaikum, ya Allah. So, what are we expecting? The souls replying back? Or how does that work?
Oh, okay, when we go to the Ahl al-Qubur, we say, ya salam Ahl al-Qubur. This is just to you give salam to them. The ruh doesn't come back. No, ruh doesn't come back. Maybe the ruh hear it, Allahu alam. But the ruh comes back for Rasulullah and the Abu Bakr Umar. Allah gives it to them. But if you go to the Muslim maqbara, you just give them salam. Maybe they hear the ruh hear the salam and they respond to it. Allahu alam. I haven't really touched into that, but we are obliged to give salam to them, inshallah, because they are Muslims. We seek peace for them, you know. But I don't think the ruh comes to them, no.
You said for Abu Bakr and Umar as well.
No, these are, because the Sahabas practiced it, isn't it? They gave salam to them, isn't it? They must hear it, Allahu alam. Prophet here, the ruh comes to him and he responds to the salam.
I heard
Yeah.
that the angels,
Yeah, the angels deliver
take
it.
to them.
Or maybe Allah, maybe. Could be that, yeah. It could be the angel take the ruh and they give walaikum salam, yeah. Could be that, yeah.
They tell salam, so like if I give salam to you, then the angels will take it and
Maybe
give
so,
salam to
or maybe the ruh hears it. Allah gives the tawfiq, the ruh to hear it and respond to the salam. Yeah. Next.
2 points. So
No, go on.
you know, you said the shahada, you were saying some people were saying it's not enough. Then you said it's enough. Someone just says that has the shahada in Tawheed, that's enough for them to go Jannah, or you're saying that is not enough?
Which one?
At the end you said about the shahada, yeah?
Ikhtilaf of
You
salah.
said some people believe that, some scholars said that it should be enough. That should be sufficient for people to enter Jannah, or can you clear that?
I don't
Let's
understand.
talk about the ikhtilaf of if you don't pray salah or not, then is
No,
the shahada enough?
some of the scholars, they use the hadith to say if you don't pray, you're still a Muslim. Hadith Ubadah bin Samit. So what it is, their scholars have 2 views regarding the one who doesn't pray. Some says if we don't pray, one salah, if you don't pray, if you leave knowingly, you're a kafir. Okay? And this is Upur Shaykh bin Baz. Okay? There's a tape video I was giving out that a group of people came to Shaykh bin Baz and said, Ya Shaykh bin Baz, one of our relative we know passed away, never prayed. And he said, he's kafir, don't bury him with a Muslim, bury him somewhere no one can see. Some of the opinion, very strict opinion, that if you don't pray, you're out of fold of Islam. Some says if you pray on and off, he's still a Muslim. They say if he doesn't pray at all in his life, then he's out of fold of Islam. Some says, a lot of ulama says, no, if he doesn't pray, he's still Muslim, because they use the hadith of bitaqa. The man will face Allah with no good deed. Okay? He will only have la ilaha illallah. And this hadith says, من شهد أن لا إله إلا وأن وحده لا شريك له وأن محمد عبده ورسوله وأن عيسى عبد الله. If he believes all that, he doesn't talk about salah, he's still a Muslim. He will enter Jannah whatever action is upon. Maybe he will be burnt in the hell, then will come out again. So they use this hadith to say, no, he's still a Muslim. Okay, but you got other hadiths to say, it's a long discussion, but that's what I mentioned. Some of the ulama, they use this hadith to say someone doesn't embrace still a Muslim. Yeah, because he still believes all this. He believes in La ilaha illallah, he believes in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he believes in Isa alayhi salam, he believes in Maryam alayhi salam, he believes in Jannah wa Nar. He's still a Muslim. So you can't call him a kafir if he doesn't pray. You know what I'm saying? So they use that hadith to say Muslim. That's what I was saying, yeah. Yeah, inshallah. خلاص؟ Amn al-mutlaq, mutlaq al-amn. And partial. Meaning that a Muslim will be in the hell for a while, will be burnt, and then they will be taken out to the hell, Jannah. Okay? Partial, meaning that he's burning, then he will be taken out. If it's complete, he's not going to see the hellfire. He's not going to be in the hellfire. That's what it is.
So to achieve that, is that the Tawheed?
Yeah, Tawheed. But what I'm saying is that Ahlul Tawheed are different levels. You couldn't be upon Ahlul Tawheed, you don't have shirk, you don't have any bid'ah, but the person can still be thrown into the hellfire because of certain action. Maybe he left out, maybe he committed majors, he never made tawbah to Allah Azza wa Jal. You know, because Muslim will go to the hellfire, the Prophet will make shafa'ah to take them out from Jahannam. Yes, but still Ahlul Tawheed, yeah. If you see someone not Ahlul Tawheed, means he's not a Muslim. Yeah.
You know, for tafreet, when it comes to Rasulullah, do the Shia come under that?
Tafreet, the extreme Rafida definitely, but they deny the prophethood. And Shia, those, I'm not saying, generally Shia, they believe that Prophet, Ali should have been a prophet. So he was mistaken by Jibreel to go to Muhammad with the Wahi. So according to the belief, they fall under Tafreet, but they deny the Risala of Rasulullah. Yes. And Ifrat, you know, they believe in Muhammad, but they make ghulu, extravagant praise on Prophet, which is as well as haram. Yeah. Good.
Could you repeat the emphasis upon Tawheed ba'da Tawheed, and what was the rest? You said emphasis
after emphasis. So emphasis was wahdahu, emphasis on affirmation, and wahdahu la sharika la is emphasis upon negation.
What was the statement on of
Ibn Hajar said that, I read the Wasat, it said that Ibn Hajar said that its emphasis after emphasis show the importance of Tawheed. The importance of Tawheed.
In Arabic.
In Arabic, I don't want to add any word, but if you want exact his word, I have to check it in the Wasati and just give it to you, inshallah. Yeah. So Ibn Hajar, that's what he said. The reason emphasis is mentioned to show the importance of Tawheed. Because La ilaha illallah is sufficient, negation and affirmation. But the wahdahu la sharika la, many hadith in dua comes like this, to emphasize that Tawheed of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And part of emphasis is to affirm and negate. So you're emphasizing twice. That's what it is basically. That's what the importance of Tawheed of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Yeah. Mom, you want to say something? You want to ask me? Okay, you're going to ask. Any more clarification, brothers? I want you to leave this masjid with clear heart, so you understood everything I said.
So you know, Muqtasid, they have
easy reckoning. This tafsir, in tafsir mentions this. That's what it is.
What's the actual meaning of like Muqtasid in terms of like the Arabic root of it?
Muqtasid, iqtasada to. But this is tafsir. That's the referring to the righteous people. I mean, they lived their life as a righteous person. They're going to have easy reckoning on the day of judgment. That's what it is. Yeah. Iqtisad also means to monopolize, economize. Yeah. But it's a different meaning. But the tafsir in the Baghawi that they will have easy reckoning on the day of judgment. Yeah. Maybe Ikhwan? Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.